Demands for transparency heard loud and clear by a judge, but people living in Tallahassee are still waiting for body camera footage to be released in the officer-involved shootings of Tony McDade and Mychael Johnson. Although McDade's family hired a lawyer to file a public records request for that video, answers as to what led up to McDade's death are once again on hold. ABC 27's CHANTELLE NAVARRO tells us why the judge ruled to wait until the case is heard by a grand jury.
Judge John Cooper says his hands are tied until the grand jury wraps up their investigation. But Cooper says even though it's halting the video from being publicized now, it doesn't mean the public won't ever get to see it.
Whatever I decide, people will be unhappy with me. I understand that. That's my job.
Leon County Circuit Judge John Cooper says he fully understands both sides of the argument when coming to his decision, now blocking the release of the body cam footage in two deadly officer-involved shootings this year, of Tony McDade on May 27th and Mychael Johnson on March 20th. The defense, city police, and state's attorney's office believe there are other underlying factors to this case that come first.
These are cases that will be presented to the grand jury. It will be for the grand jury to determine whether or not the actions were appropriate, whether there were crimes committed which should be charged, whether there's more to investigate, and that is within the prerogative of the grand jury.
On the other hand, high-profile civil rights lawyer Ben CRUMP taking the virtual stand for McDade's family.
Mistrust that exists on both sides between communities of color and law enforcement. And the main way to bridge that divide of mistrust is to have one, transparency, no matter what it shows.
Judge Cooper says with an active case, it's not up to him.
Transparency is important. I don't disagree with that. The legislature has decided, and the courts that have interpreted it that I have to answer to, have said this statute says certain things, and the courts that I've had to answer to have said this statute is legal and enforceable.
Which is why Cooper says it's not a matter of if the video will come out, but when. Depending on how the grand jury case goes, it could be released afterwards. Although the case is set for 10 days from now, all grand jury cases are on hold due to the pandemic. In Tallahassee, CHANTELLE NAVARRO, ABC 27.
McDade's lawyer also suggested in arguments releasing a redacted version of the videos by blurring out the faces of officers or taking out parts of the audio. The judge disagreed, saying if the video would be shown, it should be as is.